Well, welcome to A Spirited Debate. I'm Lauren Green. You know, 50 Shades of Grey is a best-selling book that's being made into a blockbuster movie. But Christian critics say its erotic theme is doing for women what the advent of the internet did for men and porn. It fueled the craze and normalized its use, which causes great harm to relationships and marriages. And that's the conclusion of clinical psychologist Dr. Juli Slattery. She and relationship expert Dana Goresh co-authored the book Pulling Back the Shades, which talks about the dangers of consuming pornographic material. Dr. Slattery joins me now from Denver. Welcome.
Hi, Lauren. Good to be with you.
You know, I'm really surprised. Why has this book become so popular, particularly among Christian women?
Well, I think there's a couple reasons why, but the basic reason is that this book is tapping into longings that women have that I would say particularly the church hasn't really acknowledged or addressed, and women are just flocking to it because they feel like it's going to meet a need.
You actually say, and I want to actually quote from the book here. It says, sexuality is a powerful force. Advertisers know this. They use sex to sell everything from cars to beer. Satan knows this. He has enlisted his army of demons to distort and pervert sexuality as God intended. And you say this is a satanic agenda. How so?
Well, you start with the idea that sex is a powerful force that God designed to be powerful. When you understand the chemicals that happen within sexuality in a marriage covenant, it's supposed to be this powerful bonding force that helps a couple just weather storms through marriage. Now you take that and you twist it and you have people think about people that aren't their spouse. You have people addicted to pornography or mommy porn, erotica, and you're taking that power and it becomes destructive. And I believe that erotica and 50 Shades of Grey isn't just kind of a cultural trend, but there really is a spiritual battle involved. And the fact that so many women, 100 million copies sold, that's
Wow.
a lot of women that are consuming this.
Wow. You know, you say that single women particularly use porn as a sexual outlet before marriage, thinking
Yeah.
it does no harm, but you found otherwise. What did you find?
Well, Dana Goresh, my co-author, interacted with a lot of single women who were involved in reading 50 Shades of Grey or other forms of erotica. And if you take the stand that you want to save yourself from marriage, you want to focus on marriage, and then you use erotica or other forms of pornography as a way to think, well, this is a healthy, safe outlet, you're really wrong. What it's doing is awakening desires, awakening thoughts and fantasies, even awakening you physically in such a way that it makes just a realistic relationship in the future and a satisfying relationship in the future even more unlikely.
Does that mean that pornography and books like 50 Shades of Grey are actually more dangerous for women than for men?
Well, books like 50 Shades of Grey are going to draw women in as a form of pornography. Most of us need a storyline as women. We'll think of just looking at internet porn, and a lot of women will just kind of be shocked by that or disgusted. They're not drawn to it. But when you weave sexual scenes, and there's very explicit sexual scenes, into a love story that gets a woman connected to that, it becomes very dangerous because it fuels fantasies that are unrealistic. Again, it gets her mind and her body going places that aren't healthy. But she doesn't have discernment. Like, how do you know you're crossing a line here? Mm-hmm. When does a romance story become something that's pornographic and destructive?
This is very interesting because people really don't know the difference, and this book could not have come along at a different time or an earlier time because it's like the ground has been readied for women, people to accept this because they've been so catechized by a secular culture that has pushed the bar so far when it comes to what's sexually appropriate. One of the things you said that you wrote once is that I believe this genre of literature in 50 Shades of Grey specifically are very spiritual books with an aggressive spiritual agenda. The books take you on a journey that has a spiritual impact and an intended spiritual destination, destruction. These are very, very strong claims to make, especially when you're saying this is a satanic agenda here.
Yeah, that is a strong statement. And Lauren, I say that having read the trilogy 50 Shades of Grey. I'm not just, knee-jerk reacting to it, but looking at the fact that God's design for you is to be pure. If you're married, it's to pursue excitement within marriage and adventurous sex and great sex within marriage. But his design for you is to preserve that, even in your mind, within the context of the covenant of marriage. Now, Satan's agenda is always to take us away from God's plan, to whisper in your ear that the world has something better, that, hey, just take what you want now, you don't have to wait, you don't have to focus on your husband. And so that's just one of the ways that I really see that it's a spiritual battle. But Lauren, there are other spiritual themes throughout the series 50 Shades of Grey. There's a lot of Christian language that's used within the context of a BDSM, a bondage relationship. So you're mixing the good and bad, and E.L. James in an interview even said that one of her goals in writing 50 Shades of Grey was so that we wouldn't think in terms of right and wrong and black and white, but that we would see the world in shades of gray.
There is a sort of a lie that's happening there that, among relationships, and this is a problem whether you're Christian or not, is that women think they can love a man into right behavior, into a higher calling, which means they've set love basically as the idol that's to be worshipped in itself.
Yeah. One of the things that we found in writing this book is that 50 Shades of Grey, again, is tapping into healthy longings that a woman has. And one of those healthy longings is to make a difference in a man's life. And I think that's a profound longing that women have. You want to impact the man you love. You want to impact him for the good. But what happens in erotica and 50 Shades of Grey is that you take that healthy longing and you twist it and put it in an unnatural form. And what becomes is, instead of helping the man you love, the fantasy becomes, I can save him. I can save him from all of his pain. I can be a savior. And that kind of wording is even used within the book 50 Shades.
Wow. Well, the book is called Pulling Back the Shades. Very interesting take on this, and one that I sure will be more popular among the Christian churches as they understand more about the dangers of the 50 Shades of Grey series of books. Thank you so much, Dr. Juli Slattery, for being on A Spirited Debate.
Thanks for having me on.
Bye-bye.